time I started treatment, that's when more songs came to me. That's when Reunion of Lost Connections, which to me, as a piece of writing, I thought this is such a beautiful song. I don't deserve this song. It's too good for me to sing. But as I was writing it and it came through, I thought, no, this is me. It's just a deeper aspect of me, and something I certainly wanted to add to the album, as well as invisible work. If I'm not mistaken, there were a few others, and certainly a lot more added parts. I was now starting to add more parts around certainly February, March of 2022. Okay, so now we're in spring 2022. You know, I'd had this incredibly challenging, to say the least, personal journey. I don't want to downplay the seriousness of what it was that I was dealing with. It was a miracle, in a sense, that I was still alive. It was really amazing to think that, you know, I could come out of all of that and still sing the song Power. Sing a song like Power. And it really meant something to me. It meant something to me to start getting back into filming myself and going through the process of a release, which for Butterscotch and Sophistication, I just decided that by May 2022, I just started to put stuff out. The album wasn't released yet, but I just thought, you know, let's do 2 or 3 of these each month leading up to, say, sometime fall 2022. We'll do it that way because there's a lot of material here. I figured it might be better to start to introduce the material before putting it out. Now, with all that said, I still wasn't happy with most of the music videos I did. I think that I was just so eager to finish this thing and really trying to get back into a sense of myself, knowing that it's not going to be the same. And when I was writing and recording Never the Same, I guess I didn't realize how much truth that song would have in my life. With pretty much all of these songs I was working on, it was like stuff that I'd written years ago. It was like, well, now I'm starting to live it. Now I'm living this experience, and it's quite surreal. I don't know, I do feel like I have these kind of strange experiences with my art. I think that I have to show myself compassion, kindness. Of course, I don't have a lot of the resources to make this thing better. It would have made sense. Music tends to make more sense with collaborative energy. You know, I was basically sectioned off. I felt that way, basically, you know, sectioned off to doing everything on my own. You know, I was going through this whole recovery process alone, which was a bit disappointing in ways, but it wasn't my first rodeo with my therapy being undone and then having to pick up the pieces once more. I wish that I had been able to reach out in ways that made sense to make not only my personal life better, but I think my creative life. Like, there are folks that I've worked with before that I could have said, hey, can you help me mix and master this? Hey, do you want to shoot a music video with me? For whatever reason, this entire project was just me doing everything. Being a kind of jack of all trades and learning all these different things, there are trade-offs for that. And I can see it for sure on an album like this and all the stuff I was going through. I think that there was a trade-off in some of the quality that I enjoyed from past projects. I think, like with anything, I do the best that I can, and it had to feel finished to want to put it out. I don't think at this point there's really much I can do. I think that I was a little bit disappointed to start to gather this idea that out of these 16 tracks, songs that I had written, recorded, and done everything with, that out of this bulk of songs, I'm still only ending up with maybe a few songs that are pleasing in terms of an audience or fans, whether that's casual or the fans that have been kind of there for a long time. I think that I feel a certain need to want to honor the people who have been there with me throughout all of it. And it's been hard in that, I think, for anybody with what's been going on in the world since 2020, I know that has had an impact on not only opportunities that would have been available to me personally and in basically almost every aspect of my life. I felt it. My entire life was colored by what was happening in the world. And it wasn't just that it was the pandemic, but I think there are different cultural attitudes that have been building for some time. This rise of hatred and anger and violence and this kind of stuff. And I was right near a lot of that. I had to kind of confront a lot of that because of these popularized ideas about being tough and gritty and aggressive and this positive thinking, overdose motivation stuff. Suddenly it was like people I've known for years would look at me and start to highly judge me and be hypercritical. There's just such extremity in the thinking of having control over everything in life, which we don't. I think that, you do the best with what you have and you just take it each day as it comes. I also believe people overestimate a person's character and personality when in fact it could just be that they're going through a rough situation. And that's all that is. It doesn't say anything about their personality or character. If I've learned anything from this whole album experience, which maybe probably this whole stuff has sounded like rambling mess and like I'm talking an alien language, it's that I didn't know my own strength. In the making of the music, it's not always just simply music theory and learning all these different kind of aspects of producing and editing and mixing and mastering and all that. Music is so much more. What makes music the way it is, just like I'm telling you, has to do with what the artist is going through at that time. It really has a lot to do with it. It's not only just kind of, here's a template, here's a formula, and go and do the music. There's so much more that goes into it. Butterscotch and Sophistication, I think for many years to come, it's going to have more to say to me, hopefully to others that listen to it. I do recall quite a lot of deep, profound moments that I had while writing it and working on it, and that I felt that I was doing things that I hadn't really done before. It took me places I hadn't been before. And it really told me what Butterscotch and Sophistication is all about, which is a reference to myself. And actually kind of embracing the fact that it would be this kind of like old Hollywood vibe almost of like somebody who's just been in it too long and over it in ways, but still in love with what you do, passion for what you do. This album, it's really going to, for me, take a long time to kind of process it, let it sit out there and see how my babies are doing. I say that because I don't see myself as having kids, so my songs are my babies. I've had another album. It's been an absolute joy to work on, and it certainly gave me an escape during all the moving around, the loss, not only of jobs and friendships and stuff, but stress and trauma. And when I say trauma, I hope that comes across by the definition, that it's not just like I'm throwing out the word trauma because it's something to say. It's, in my case, looking at it, I would think that trauma is a fitting word. escaping from the whole social media aspect and trying to appease the algorithm and what so-and-so might like or not like, and just the trying to keep up with it. These content-hungry platforms that just kind of keep you doing a bunch of things that really have nothing to do with music and art. I've certainly been through that myself, where it's like, well, what am I doing here? I'm not, well, just like this. I'm not, what is this? This isn't singing at all. If there are any blessed souls that are still here watching this, please leave a comment, or if you have any questions about my music, my art, my creative process, producing and what have you, or just interest in this project or past projects, feel free to do so, hopefully respectfully, and constructive criticism. I hope if you're watching this that you enjoyed the album, but that it's also not just the experience of the album. I certainly want the mental health journey I've been through to be associated with my music, because I believe that's how it makes sense. I think that it's almost like you need an instruction manual to understand my art and my social media and stuff. That's a joke. With the added backstory, personal story, I think it makes Andrew A.J. Johnson music a full picture. It has more dimension and depth to it than had you just kind of looked at me at face value and thought, oh, he's just silly songs and stuff that I like to do, but as well as the stuff I really want you to hear is more of the kind of the more deeper songs, and the ones that have to do with love and peace. It was an amazing moment of self-discovery for myself. I think really picking up the pieces of self-esteem that was lost along the way. How to kind of bring that into my life as somebody who just didn't have it. I just wasn't born with that. You know, that there are folks that you come into this world and you just don't have that. There's just this emptiness inside, you know, and you know, this one, I think, warmed my heart in the kind of messages that came through during this project, learning to more support myself in more of a deeper aspect. Because I know not everybody's there when you're really going through stuff, and that's unfortunate. I wish they were. That's not always the case, but in some weird way, it is almost like I'm not just writing this and just kind of, you know, like it's something to do. This is my life. You know, these songs, I put myself into it. Often these are based on experiences, you know, that I've been through. And sometimes, in a weird way, they're experiences that I end up going through, for better or worse. Anyhow, once again, enjoy the album. A lot of the songs are available right here on YouTube. Hopefully shortly it will be on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon. You can follow me on social media via links below, and let me know if you want me to do stuff like this more often, because I feel like it's been a hot minute since I've really sat down just to talk to 2 or 3 people that listen to me. I hope you take care. Thank you so much for listening, and be well. Bye.